Hello and welcome. I am going to be speaking on making extra income for the new year, and I hope you find the session useful. Thank you for joining. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. So, this video will be made available later on my channel so that even if you're not able to join live, you can um, review later and also benefit from what I'm sharing today. So I'll go straight. I'll probably spend the next 30 minutes talking about making extra income. I have prepared a note, so I would be referring to it as I progress. So, making extra income, or some people call it side hustles. So they have their main source of income, maybe from um, their work, which is mostly career and or business. If you run a business that is core and you feel like you're not getting as much revenue, especially if the business has reached a peak growth level and you don't feel like you can expand more than it currently is, and you want to focus on other areas of making extra income while you still have a major source of income that you are pursuing. This has become a little necessary, especially because of the times that we are in. Um, there's a need for people to make extra income to meet their um, needs, their own primary needs first, and also to be able to help others um, when they can. And I think that's one of the main reasons why people um, want to get extra income. Some are a bit comfortable themselves, but they feel like they can do more for people if they make extra. And the truth about making money is you are never truly satisfied, so you want to always um, want more, like Oliver Twist. You always want to want more because there's no amount of money that is enough. That's why I still see the richest people in the world are still working and striving. And one funny fact about side hustles or extra income is most rich people that you know don't have one stream of income. They have multiple streams. Don't let that discourage you. Some people, when you start talking about multiple streams of income, they're like, oh, they have come again. This one where they do enough work already. So, yeah, don't let that bore you. What I'm going to be sharing today will probably help you understand how you can have other sources of income while you're maintaining one source and what you need to do better to uh, not let the extra sources disrupt your main source so that you can have time to do all the things that you need to do. You never know when an emergency might rise or how long you will stay in your job or your company will survive until you retire. You don't know those facts. So you always need to have a backup plan. Um, some people have made their side hustle their source of livelihood because they have built it in such a way that the side hustle can now sustain their immediate needs and even extra to do things. So you can have one main job, one side hustle that you have built up to a level where it now meets your own needs and even pay all your bills, and you can now hands off that one and move to another side hustle that you can build, can start again and build. Some people have been successful to build one side hustle, establish that one, move to another one, establish that one, move to another one, establish the one. These are very possible, and part of what I'm going to be sharing tonight is making you see how you can create time out of your no time to do as much as you can. No matter how busy you are, there's no there's no one that is too busy to create a side hustle, except you don't want to. Maybe you're comfortable, or you're just feeling like overwhelmed and you feel like you don't have what it takes to start one. But the truth is, everyone has the opportunity and the time. There's always time. No matter how busy you are, there's always time to do something else. So I've just made this introduction. So I have the presentation into three sides: making the extra income, which is what I've talked about, how you can decide on your side hustle or the things that you need to do to make extra income. Then side hustle ideas, the things that you can actually do to generate this extra income. So how can you decide on your side hustle? There are three things that I have jotted down that you can build on to decide on your side hustle. Number one is, what do I like to do? So you need to ask yourself, what do I really like to do? Some people have jobs or jobs that they have been on to do their regular 9 to 5, and they don't really like it, but they have to do it because it pays the bills. That is totally fine. Um, so, but there are things that they like that they can do for free, even if you're not going to pay them, they'll still like to do it. So, what is that thing that you really like to do that you're not doing right now, but you really like to do it? So, that to give you an idea of things that you can build on for your side hustle. Number two is, what am I really good at? So, like I mentioned before, you have a job that you do, you're probably good at it, but you don't like it. That's an idea. So, if it takes someone 2 hours to do a particular task, and for you're able to do it for less than 30 minutes, then that is something that you're really good at. Even if they wake you up in the night, you're happy to do that thing because you're really good at it. That's number two. Number three, what do I have the time for? So, like I mentioned before, everyone has time. Everyone has the same 24 hours in a day. So, the question of, oh, I don't have time, doesn't really cut it, except you want to give excuse. So, if you plan your time well, you can create time to do what you really like and what you're good at. So it boils down to the first 2 points that I've made. You're using ideally 8 hours for your 9 to 5. I know that it's possible. You transport to your 9 to 5, or you have to wake up earlier to prepare and all of that. You spend, instead of 8 hours, you spend like 14 hours, and you have less than 10 hours left in the day. So what can you do better? What can you do better? How do you create the time for what you like? So if you, for example, you have to transport to your place of work and that is taking bulk of your time, you can do some things in traffic while you're going. Um, Maybe if you drive, you might decide not to drive that particular day so that you can meet up on what you want to do. We're trying to create time for you now. You have 24 hours in a day. You work 9 to 5. You spend 8 hours to say 14 hours, and you have to sleep for like maybe 7 hours. So you still have around 3 hours that you use for probably social media or chat with friends, or time you tag resting time, because you are trying to build a side hustle and you're trying to create time at the same time. It will be good for you to be deliberate about it so that your action every day would contribute to that extra time that you need. So even if you don't have time, there are things that you're good at, there are things that you like doing, that you are happy to do for free, even if they're not paying you for it. So those are things that you can create the time for. Um, Using myself as an example, I started this channel and sort of a side hustle, even though I'm not getting money paid by doing this video, but I feel like it's an investment that I'm making. So I create time during the week and to make videos sometimes and to create contents, even though I pay someone to manage the handle, but that's because I've gotten to a level where I can outsource that part of the business and get someone else to do it. So you might not have that initial resource to get someone to manage your social media platform, but you can create a day or two to start promoting yourself or making that investment. So every day you're making a deliberate contribution to your side hustle. You're creating the time. Those are the things that you like doing. These are the things that you are good at. So if there are things that you're good at and the things that you like doing, the time would be created for them. Even if it's 1 hour per day and you're deliberate about those 1 hour, and that 1 hour you're putting in your best to ensure that you're working at that particular side hustle. You know that from 8 to 9 p.m. every day I'm working on my side hustle. That way, if you contribute 1 hour in a week, you have 7 hours already, and before you know it, you have built a substantial amount of time that you can really do what you like doing or what you're good at. So I would like just to summarize before I move to the side hustle ideas. How to decide on your side hustle. I said, one, you have to think about what you like doing, the thing that you can do for free. You really like it, and you can do it for free. Number two, what you are good at. What would take someone 6 hours to do, you are doing it in 2 or 3 hours. It means you're really fast at it and you're good at it. It doesn't necessarily mean you like it, remember, but you're good at it. You are better than the average person when that comes to completing that task. So that's something that you are good at. Then the third one is, what do you have the time to do? You can be good at something, you can like doing something, but you don't have the time to do it. That is still something. But like I mentioned, you need to create time to do the things that you like doing or the things that you're very good at. Moving on to the final session, which is side hustle idea. I've particularly streamlined the ideas to a few points. I feel like these points are can be done no matter where you are in the world. So there are some that might be a bit difficult to do depending on where you are, but generally, I feel like these are things that you can do no matter where you are in the world. So again, it might take time to build that side hustle. Putting in 1 hour every day for a number of days or weeks, even if it takes years to build one side hustle, it's not bad. You're building something that you're deliberate about that can generate extra income for you in the future. The first idea I have here is drive for Uber. Okay, so this might be a bit funny to some people, like, oh, depending on where you are in the world again, but some people might find this normal. So there are some countries where driving can be a tasking job. You need to learn how to drive first, then you need to have driven for a number of years before you're allowed to drive commercially. But so it's something that you don't even need a lot of stress for, especially if you're already driving your city. Some people pick people up while they're going to work and they collect money. So it doesn't have to be formally Uber. It can just be picking someone and is going your route when you're going to work and you get paid. This is business, so it's possible that you pick people up normally for charity and it's fine, but making extra income means that you are having a business mindset about these things, that and you are now being a bit more deliberate about your actions. Remember, you're probably paying for the fuel, you're paying for car servicing and all of that. So these are things that you can do extra. Maybe on your way to work you pick up someone, and when you're returning you pick someone up, or if you have time later in the evening you just do a drive around town. It can be an Uber, so because if you use Uber, you have ready customer, so it's much easier when you drive that way. So that's one. Number two is rent your spare room. Again, this is also depending on your country, the country that you live in. If you are a single person, for example, and you stay in a two-bedroom house, I really don't see what you're doing with the other room. You can manage to live in one room, and even if you work from home, and set up the room in such a way that you can have an office in your bedroom or in the living room while you rent out the other room. Of course, you do your background check and ensure that whoever you're inviting to come and live in with you is also someone of a like mind that you can check the background and do all of that before you let them stay with you. But this is a very good opportunity. The difference between renting a one bedroom and a two bedroom is not really much depending on where you stay. So if you can deliberately rent a two bedroom but you need one and rent out the other one, the rent you get from the room would probably be more than what you pay for your rent to your landlord. For example, let me use the city I'm in. For a one bedroom, you probably need around £700, but a two bedroom to rent will be like 800 or £850 per month. And so instead of renting a one bedroom for yourself, remember I said if you're single, you can, even if you're married and you feel like you can accommodate, you can do it. So you rent a two bedroom for 850 or 900, and if you rent that one room out, you can rent it out for like 500 or 600. That way, if you get a 600, instead of paying rent of 900 by yourself, you can pay only 300 because you're getting 500 from your other room living tenant. So yeah, that's an idea. So think about how this can favor you based on your own peculiar situation. If you're a family person, it might be a bit different because you don't want a stranger to stay in your room. But depending on situation, you can always find a way to manage it. Number three, side hustle idea: manage social media for small business. Like I mentioned earlier, my someone manages my pages, and that is because I've built the business up in such a way where it doesn't really require my physical um, interference every now and then. So I'm paying the person. The person is managing the handles: Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. You can choose one depending on how much time you can spare. You're out, maybe you have time to do social media some time every day, or maybe you spend like 2 hours just scrolling through social media handles. You can create maybe 1 hour, depending on who you're working for, maybe 1 hour every. I had one guy that was helping before, and what they do is just post. They don't manage, just make posts. I just wanted the page to be busy, so they just post into the handle. They design those handles and paste. So that is something that you can do. You don't need to be actively involved in the social media. You can just post. Another thing you can do in that line of managing social media is probably design posters, and there are tools online that you can get to design these posters without necessarily starting from scratch. You don't need to know all the design application to be able to do that, but ideally you should have some interest in designing, so it will be easier for you to design. So you can design logos. People design logos. You'll be surprised at how much people pay for logos. So you can design logos, you can design posters, you can edit video, you can manage social media for businesses. And I'm sure a lot of businesses are out there that are willing to pay a token for maybe 3 posts every week, and you can make good money from that. These are ideas that I'm sharing. It might not be the big money ideas, but there are things that you can use your 1 hour, 2 hours to do every day that could give you that little difference. Number four, which might not be common in many countries, is selling services on Fiverr or technical service on Upwork. There's something that you're good at, remember, and there's things that you like doing. So if there are things that you have, skills that you have built up over the years, it might even be relating to the work you do. You can sell this service on Fiverr and Upwork. Just create an account and see how people are doing their own. You can copy. There's no copyright to copying what other people are selling that you know you're good at, and modify it just a little and sell. People will reach out to you. You don't have to have all the 5 stars before you start. You can just start with, everyone started one day. Nobody got their 5 stars the first day they started. So you can gradually build your presence in those outsourcing websites where you can sell your skills or technical service. The next one is Tutor over Skype. Again, you have learned something over the years. There are things that you can easily pass across, knowledge that you can pass across that would be of value to someone out there. Now, one thing about me is when I try to sell, I try to sell to a global audience. So I don't know who would need my service anytime or anywhere. So I just put out the content out there because I know that someone will probably need it someday. So create a tutor. You have learned something in the course of your work or anything. You'll be surprised. It can just be how to make tea. You can, if you Google how to make tea on YouTube, I'm sure you'll find thousands of videos. So if it's just your presentation, so you can do a video tutorial there. That also brings us to what you can do on YouTube. So it doesn't have to be on Skype, it can be on YouTube. I was talking to someone when I was having this career discussion session with the person, and the person was saying that, oh, they are struggling with how to do side hustle or things that they can do. I asked him what he was good at, and he said he likes teaching maths and he likes solving maths and he likes doing it for children for free. I like, that's fine. So you like teaching maths, and so why don't you record those sessions where you teach? So it doesn't even have to be a live teaching of people out there. It can be people that you have around that you're teaching, and just record the session. Of course, you get the consent so that people are aware that you're recording them. Or if you don't want them to, if you don't want to be recorded, their face, you don't even need their face. You just need them to be there, and you record yourself from the other side. So only you will be showing, and you can do your teaching for free and upload those videos either online on YouTube or even Instagram or Skype, that you can deliver those sessions and monetize over time. Now, a lot of people have well, probably discouraged after they have tried to upload videos on YouTube and they're not getting the required response. Most of these things that we're discussing take time to start generating income. So if you are creating content, doing videos and posting on YouTube, and you're not getting the reaction, you're not making the quick money, it doesn't usually happen like that. But just keep putting out those content. Someday it will strike and it will probably go viral, and that's when the money start coming in. So don't be too much in a hurry to start monetizing all of the things that you're doing. Some take time, some are faster, and some that you can do over time before you start getting something. So another idea, number 6, is starting a blog. Oh, a lot of people have talked about blogging and all of that. How do you make money on blogging? Personally, I don't. I like I mentioned before, it's possible that you have started something and you're not getting the required response or income generating platform yet. Or it doesn't mean that you shouldn't do it. Blogging is part of it. When you start blogging, you don't start making money immediately, just like YouTube. It takes time to create those content, and before you know it, you start generating income, and that income can last for many years, especially when you have created it in such a way that it's engaging over time. So start a blog. If you like writing, it can be anything at all. I have a friend that she's here. She started this 1 minute talk on Spotify, and she has it on different platform, and she has been consistent that almost a year, if not even more than a year, that she started, and she has been consistent. Anytime she has an idea, she just puts it out there. So it doesn't matter whether people are listening or reading it. Just keep putting out the content, and it could be a diary. It doesn't matter. Just put it out there, just as much as you want people to know. The next one is create an online course. I have mentioned this before. Just like blogging, you can also create online course. And the good thing about online course is you just need to make one, and if it's really good, you can put them on different platforms that sell teaching materials, and you can get really paid good money. So online course, that's something that you can do. Another point, number 8, is write a book, become a freelance writer. I added those two together. Writing a book is actually very easy. You don't have to be a writer in quotes, and because I've done it twice now, I understand the process. But it's really very easy. It's not difficult at all to write a book. Think about something that you like to share, you're good at and like to share. And once you find that thing, then create an outline around that topic. My latest book, Let's Talk About Money, I have always given money ideas to people, and they come back like, wow, that's really nice and it's helpful. So with that, I developed a table of content, and based on the experience I've had over the years on talking about these things, I was able to draft those content and talk about the different sections easily. So that way, I'm able to talk about those sections without much stress, and you don't have to write all of the table of content in the order that they are. You can write chapter 7 first or chapter 1 first, and you arrange it later. So you don't have to say, oh, I start from chapter 1 and I must finish chapter 2 like that till the last chapter. No, you can write, you can get ideas as you continue to write, and before you know it, you have written 100 pages without knowing. So yeah, that's something that you can do. You can write an ebook, and it doesn't have to be 1,000 pages. And some people are scared, oh, what if I write a book and it's not up to 50 pages? It doesn't really matter. There are books that are not up to 50 pages. They are really small books, and people still buy them. Ideally, it should be around 80 pages, but just keep writing. Before you know it, you have written substantial. So write a book or be a freelance article writer. There are people that want to write, but they don't have the time, and you like writing, so you can create time to write. It could be freelance, it could be assignments for people that need articles and doing things like that. You can help them write it and charge money. Again, these are linked to services that you can sell on Fiverr or Upwork. Number 9, produce an audiobook. Some of you have very good voice, and you probably don't know what to do with it, and people have been telling you that, oh, you have a very good voice. So yeah, you can create an audiobook. For my first book, Succeeding in Your Career, I did an audiobook, but I outsourced it, and the guy had a very unique voice. Before I outsourced it, there are some other voice that I heard, but I wasn't quite impressed until I heard that voice, and it was unique. So people have been telling you, you can put yourself out there with the voice that you have. People do voice over, so you don't even need to create any content. You just need to have a voice, and people would want to listen because of the way your voice is catchy, and they really like it. So create an audiobook. Next, become a personal chef. When I first arrived in the UK, I was going to Oxford to get food. From Southampton to Oxford is about 2 hours. So me and my guy would just drive to Oxford and get this pack of stew and jollof rice and soup and bring back, and we use that for like a month thereabouts. Then we'll go again. So, and that's because someone recommended a woman that was doing that. So, if you're like me, that don't like, there are people like me outside that don't like cooking, and um, so you can be, and people have commended your cooking to say, oh, um, your food is really delicious. So you can be a personal chef. You have friends that go out for lunch, and uh, and they probably don't enjoy the food that they ate, and you know how to cook. You can cook and bring for them as lunch. You can even give them tasters first, and once they're happy, you have a contract to deliver lunch every day for them, and you're a personal chef, and you collect, say, depending on how much the lunch is, you can upscale it a little, and charge them a premium for delivery as well. So you don't have to go out there to eat food that they don't like, but they're eating your food, which is good. So these are things that you can do. You can also, as part of a personal chef, it doesn't have to be someone that is close to you. I just gave that example. It can be someone that is far from you and that knows about your cooking, and the person you have friends. You can use referrals and cook a full pot of soup that you can deliver weekends to people, if you enjoy cooking. So you can always do that. The next one, some of you might not like this one, clean houses. Again, this is not very common, and depending on the country that you're in. And I have someone that clean houses, but he doesn't do it himself. He gets the contract and outsource it. So cleaning houses doesn't necessarily mean that you have to do it yourself, and you'll be surprised that it's not so difficult to clean, because you obviously clean your own house and you do a very good job at it. So if someone contracts you, it will be like you're cleaning your own house. So it might not be easy, like I said, but it's something that you have to enjoy and that you can do at your spare time. And you can make good money from that. Again, you don't have to do it yourself, you can outsource. So you get the job, you get people to help you clean, and you get paid. That's one. Two, wash or uh, wash or detail car. So there's another business idea that you can do: car wash business. Just like cleaning houses, it doesn't have to be something that you do by yourself. You can have colleagues that drive, and just ask them, oh, can I wash your cars or clean your cars? And like, okay. And if you have the time, you can do them, or contract the job. You know what it's a cost to go to car wash. Some of them might not like that idea of going to car wash, because they feel like, oh, it's too stressful and all of that. So you know how much it costs to wash a car, and you can add a premium to it. Yeah, so that's something that you can do. Write resumes. This is one thing I do. So some of the things I'm sharing are the things that I do as well. I have been writing resumes for more than 4 years now. I started for free, so I can use myself as a very good example for this one. I posted it on LinkedIn the first time, and I met some good people through that post as well. So I posted on LinkedIn that I like to do free CV reviews, and that's how I started. During that period, I reviewed over 300 CVs for free. And remember, I said something that you like doing and something that you have time to do. When I started, I had some friends then I was also encouraging to join me to review. Well, because it's your own dream, some people might not buy into it. It doesn't really matter. So I started and I started reviewing CV and reviewed more than 300. So that gave me a good perspective on what a typical CV should look like. And some of them I rewrote, some of them I just made modification to what they had. So I built that reputation based on doing free CVs, and over time, after I think about 2 years, I started monetizing it. And today, I think I've written, if not close to 1,000 CV, including, of course, reviewing, not rewriting, only rewriting. So I rewrite and review and make comments. And I have monetized it now, so it's much easier. So you can start just like me, do for free, and over time you start monetizing it. 14, teach driving lessons to students. Again, if you already drive, it's easier to pass that knowledge to someone. It can be very difficult if it's someone that you're close to, someone you know. So you can have referrals, you have a car, you have some free time weekends. Don't think that you're doing anything bad by charging money for a value that you're adding. Even if it's a friend or a friend's friend, add you're adding value, so don't feel bad that you're charging for it. So if you spend 1 hour training someone on how to drive, you get your money, and that's it. Then number 15, become a virtual assistant. There are some people that, because of their busy schedule, they don't know how to organize themselves, and because they are so busy, they need someone to help them organize themselves. So you can apply. There are different platforms online that you can apply to as a virtual assistant, and you'll be surprised that they will just tell you what their typical week look like or months look like, and it's just you helping them organize all of that chaos into a meaningful daily step that they need to take, and you get paid. And that's just one. There are other virtual assistant work that you can help with. Maybe someone need data entry help, so you can help people do that. You can help people organize their calendar, like I mentioned. You can help people keep minutes of meeting. There are different virtual assistant work that you can see out there. Just go online and you'll be surprised. The last but not the least on my list tonight is doing interior decoration. Um, you, the things that I've shared today, like I said in my presentation, is things that you already like doing. So you probably do decoration for your church and people commend your work and like, wow, this is so beautiful. Or the way your room is, you probably put things in different places and you make it look attractive. Those are features that you can monetize. So you can apply this skill are not things that you need to people need to know you for. You can be things that you put out there, like all those platforms where you can sell services. So you can sell those services to say, oh, I'm an interior decor. I know of a friend recently, she started selling nails online, and I'm like, wow, I never knew that that was a thing. And the nails are so beautiful, and that's what she does. So most of the things that you can do are things that ish problems that you see around, or things that you can start doing. It doesn't need to be a demand right now for it, but things that you feel like you like doing and you feel like people will like it too when they come to understand it. And so those are the things that you can do. So I have mentioned 16 things that I feel like are side hustle ideas and things that you can start doing in your own and at your own spare time. It might not require so much of commitment from you. But what I would like to encourage you is at least 1 hour every day. Have a fixed time if possible. Say if your work resumes 9, you can say 7 to 8 every day in the morning. I'm going to devote 1 hour to build on this side hustle. I'm going to be deliberate about it. So there are different things that you can do out there, and putting in that time is what is all that matters. And initially you might not be getting all the benefits. I'm not promising you that if you start doing some of these things now, you start getting paid, but they are investments that you can make now that over time you see the result and you can start reaping from those investments. Just to do a general recap before I go for questions, if you have questions, I've talked about making extra income, which is something that you do aside of your main work that can turn to a main work, and leave that one and start another one that you can build and start as a main work again. And I mentioned that most rich people that you see out there have different streams of income. They have their core, they have another one. Some they don't even have to be there, but it's generating income, and these are the things that you can do. So that's the idea of making extra income. Sometimes your extra income becomes your main income, and your income streams multiply, and you have different monies coming from investment, from side hustles, from this, from that, and you have enough for yourself and also to help people. How can you decide on your side hustle? We talked about that. Doing what you like and doing what you're really good at, and creating time in your busy schedule to do those things. Then we came down to the side hustle ideas that you can do. Of course, this is not exhaustive. I mentioned a couple of things that you might find interesting. I understand that some people came late to the party, so you can always, we'll make the video available on Instagram, on YouTube as well, so you can always go back to watch. If you have any questions now, I can just you can either write it, or if you want to connect, we can connect and you can ask questions. So I'll give the next, wow, 40 minutes already, 50 minutes. So if you have questions, I'll just leave the platform open for the next 5 minutes to attend to questions. So yeah, feel free to ask. If there are personal questions, how do you go about a particular side hustle, or how do you create time for a particular side hustle, or do you even need a side hustle in the first place if your main work is giving you all that you need? So questions, if you have any questions, please. I am ready to answer questions. Otherwise, I will call it a day. If you don't have any question, or after I'll post the video later and you want to still ask question, you can drop your questions there and I'll respond. But feel free to ask questions. Thank you. Feel free to ask questions if you have any question. Thank you for joining. Jeff, Dayo, CC, Olatosun, thank you. Miss IRR, I'm not sure what that is, maybe Iroro. And Mrs. Oyibo, thank you for joining. Miriam, thank you. That's my wife. High Flyer, I'm not sure who that is. Gladys, thank you. Rose, thank you. Patience, thank you for joining, guys. Thank you for joining. Yeah, so I'm still open for the next couple of minutes to answer any questions you might have on side hustle, creating time, how to know what you like doing. While we're waiting for questions, I can just give you an overview of the things I do. As you would know, I've written 2 books this year, Succeeding Your Career and Let's Talk About Money. You find all of this on my page, of course, and on Amazon and also my website. So feel free to check them out. They are mostly aimed at young people or young adults, but I'm sure they'll be very useful to anyone that likes reading and hungry for knowledge. So let's talk about money. You can grab a copy of that on my website or on Amazon, depending on the country that you're in. I also do, like I mentioned, CV reviews. I have done that for like 4 years now. Some I do myself, depending on technicalities involved. Some I outsource to my assistant, and yeah, so we do that CV review. Cover letter, LinkedIn optimization will help you with that as well. Statement of purpose will help you with that at very little token. Then I do career counseling, and also in that session I give you a broader view of the career world, and particularly in your own path, so you see clearly and clearer. And this is particularly important as you move into the new year. So there are areas that you need to start looking into in your own personal career. This is good. Then personal finance coaching session. Also, I do that just to give you a perspective of how you can manage, how to make money, manage money, and increase money. So yeah, I give you a fresh perspective on the way to look at money in that session. Yeah, so that's a bit of what I do. Happy to take questions. I haven't got any question. So yeah, feel free to reach out or any of the things that I've talked about tonight. If you need further clarification, I'm happy to provide you with those. Yeah, so I thank you, and I'll see you again next week for another exciting topic. So these sessions, I'm happy to take them every week, talking about money or money ideas like we just discussed today. The next session could be about a career or topic in workplace that we can talk about. And as the spirit leads, I'll be coming up with different topics every week on career and money talk with iframe. Thank you again, and have a beautiful week. Bye bye.